Well, the floors are done as they're going to become. I used a SEM product I'll show you in a minute. Rust Mort it's called, worked pretty good. And then over that went Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer. There's still going to be some holes to fill, gaps with some seam sealer, but we'll try to dry it in as best we can because she will get driven in the rain on occasion. Going to Nationals, it seems like it always rains over there. Trunk came out pretty good. Here's the SEM. Didn't turn the metal completely black all the way through, maybe because it was thicker rust and spots, I don't know. And then the floor is going to get this stuff I've used before. Lowe's carries it. FV 516 seems to be the number down there. But I'm not, Dynamat, of course, is wicked expensive. This stuff is adhesive bag, rolls in. I think it's, I don't know how wide it is, 10 or 12 inches. And it works good. Kind of keeps the noise down. I'm gonna start putting stuff back in the trunk here. We had a casualty yesterday when we were gonna move the engine, take it to the engine builder. Had the big truck sitting here and stuff was under it. Yeah, so my son took off and got the edge of the air cleaner, which it's not terrible, but it's not round anymore. Also, he ran over these mouse. I don't know if he did any damage to these at all, if he could do any more damage. Didn't seem to hurt them, tweaked them a little bit. But everything was, a lot of stuff was there, but I was out here and heard a crunch. He did too, he stopped, or he heard stop when I yelled, stop. And that was that. So next it's going to be, I decided I'm going to do the least desirable of everything, which is getting greasy, doing the front end. Tie rod ends, bushings, ball joints. Everything will get cleaned up well, degreased. I was going to drop the K-frame and get silly, you know. And I like that kind of thing. I would like to do it, but you know, these projects can get out of hand and eventually they're not fun anymore. It's just a job. So we'll see. The lower control arms are pretty rusty. They would look better cleaned up. After the front end's done, go ahead and do the brakes later on in June. I don't even know how big these brakes are. 10, 11 inch. We'll see. And then after that, really, it's just the rear end, you know, drop the center section out. See what gear's on there for sure. It's going to need fluid. I'm debating whether or not to have some green bearings, get those and put them on. Certainly 55-year-old bearings, I'm sure they're fine, but it wouldn't hurt to change them. Of course, the bearings up front here too. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Okay, decided to switch gears a little bit here. I am going to got some cleaning products here, some green stuff inside that. These things, I'm going to clean the engine bay and probably the trunk too. Took the battery off. Here's the worst that is. Hopefully one of my buddies can do what he can do, his magic on that. So we're going to power wash this thing, blast stuff off, and get all the dirt. I'm contemplating getting a can of blue CC1 if Napa can mix it up for me. That's the paint code for this car, light blue. And doing the trunk, who cares? Certainly when I do the engine bay, I'm gonna have fresh metal and steel over here. I'm still not planning on getting crazy here, so I would like to fix this with some blue paint if it'll work out all right, and then patina it, if you will. So anyway, here we go. All right, there she is. Better or worse? See all the rust? Yeah, looks a lot better. Easier to work on. I went about 3 times over it. soaking it and all that. This looks the same, more or less. A little less mouse poo smell, maybe. Took the trunk seal off. There's a whole lot of crap that was in the trunk is coming out down here. Mouse stuff. Yeah. Anyway, let her dry out. It's gonna be about 90 today, and then push it back in. Front end's next. Well, so it starts. Cross members out of there. I forget what we really call that. Tie rod, whatever. Hit my arm was fighting me like a booger, but I used a little heat. Used a lot of heat, a lot of what I call magic juice. 50% acetone, 50% transmission fluid to pull it out. And there's that. So yeah, we'll press on in a little while. Okay, so here we are. Pretty much torn apart. I still got one torsion bar giving me trouble. That one's out. The pivot is still in the K-frame. Yeah, we've been dancing today, me and Louise. And she's been trying to lead. I've been beat the hell out of this thing for taking the torsion bars off. Had to run into town to get 4 new bolts. Busted 2. It's 7:15. It's time to quit. And the carnage, what a mess. Yep, had to use a heat on that other torsion bar on the driver's side. That finally got it off. Passenger side, still giving me plenty of trouble. But I decided I'm gonna clean up some, scrape this floor down. Rollers on the creeper, just the wheels are caked on with crap. Of course, you gotta get every tool out you own. Cut off wheels, whole 9 yards. We'll get her. We'll get her. She's fighting back. I knew this would be the worst, and it is. It sucks. Anyway, all right, here we go. Okay, a little update about what's going on here. I probably should have done this sooner before I got busy and got into this bin, you see, because what's in here is molasses and water. And I've got it mixed a little light now, honestly. I like to do like a gallon of this to 10 gallons of water. And it's so thick that I didn't dump in as much as I should have. Now here is my transmission cross member. You can see it does flash rust, but I don't really care. I do have a blast cabinet, and what it does, that's just messing around really, but the molasses takes rust off. Some of you know that. Evidently you can stick a whole engine block in there. See some rust down in there. I can still use my blast cabinet to clean this thing up because everything's going to get cleaned up. This was pretty crispy at one time. This stuff can smell. You can see in there, it's looking pretty foamy. This one hasn't been smelling as bad as what I've seen before. There's an engine pulley. It's like the water pump pulley. Now, I've been fooling with it. Of course, if you don't have any grease left on there, this stuff won't cut through that. That might be some rust there. You can see it rubs right off. And if you've got paint on these things like there, you know, it's not coming off. It leaves the paint, which is kind of cool. So this has been in here a week. These weren't too bad, but they were a little bit on the, you know, they were rusty. So you get to stay in another week, basically, because I don't feel like fooling with them anymore today. There's one there. I threw in the cover, inspection cover. You can see the turquoise is on there. Now, for you purists, I guess I kind of am too. I like to know how they did stuff. This entire, the back of the bell housing's painted turquoise. You can see they really were thorough back then, you know. This has probably got some grease I didn't get off of it. And this is rust rubbing off. Let me see what we can show you here. Yeah. See, it just takes you down to metal. It's nuts. That molasses will do that, of all things. Stuff you put in your ginger snaps. Been a little busy today. I only had part of a day getting stuff done. Got the entire front end apart, and there's some good news. The driver's side lower control arm was frozen. Got a buddy, he's got a big blast cabinet, works at a shop, so he went ahead and blasted them for me, pushed the bushings out. I'll go ahead and put them back in here at the house, but and then he hit them with some epoxy. The rest of these, the torsion bars and the strut rods, I just wire wheel them. If there's some crispiness, I'll take and blast them in the cabinet, and then go ahead and hit them with some primer, etching primer, and then just Rust-Oleum black paint. It'll all come off unless you powder coat them, and that's not happening. Anyway, yeah, one upper control arm was not usable. Driver's side, everything was real crispy on that side. I don't know why. So anyway, it's history. Anyway, I'll keep you updated. Okay, here we are, the last one for this video. Front end carnage is complete. Everything's cleaned up. Got to run some new brake lines, but if you notice, the master cylinder looks different because although I said I wasn't going to do a disc brake conversion, that's what she got. Everything's all cleaned up. I literally wire wheeled everything. Put this old shower curtain I have for painting in the house over top of me and sandblasted what I could. See, everything was pretty good. No big surprises. There was a ton of gravel in there. So the next thing is to get the front end back down. Can't do any kind of garage alignment because there's no engine in it. And we're going to lift the back end up because here are a new set of Espo springs. Stock arch, shackles, bushings, eye bolts, U-bolts, I guess I meant to say. It's all going in. Ask why, because the bushings are shot in the back, and I am not going to try to get them out. And for about $450 shipped for all the hardware and the springs, it's not too bad. Here's the short block. I guess it's going to the engine builder machine shop Tuesday. Today's Sunday. Pretty clean inside, standard bore, thank God. Now this thing was sitting here with, in fact it's real clean. It was sitting here for 30 years with antifreeze in it. It didn't smell like antifreeze when it came out. It had no smell at all, so hopefully nothing cracked while it sat. Chrysler dual roller timing chain. I mean, I don't know what they put in these engines, but I was impressed. Of course, you know, I had a dual point distributor. And this is a November of '64 casting date in a 1965 model year car. I guess I'm gonna try to get the IBM card, see what I can see on there. I don't know if it gives a build date on those at all or not. The head, somebody's had the heads off, obviously. Hell, they had one turquoise colored head bolt on the inside. One of these down there, I guess. Obviously some new freeze plugs. They did them all on here except one of these freeze plugs didn't get replaced for some reason, or unless it just rusted up real bad. Looks like they had Velcro gaskets on there once. Yeah, this one here's rusty. I don't know. Couldn't get this out. Started to squish it a little. I said, I'm done. I'm not gonna be the guy. Because of me, I have to go get a new one. And they've already screwed it up bad enough as it is. Anyway, the really bad part's done now. I'm sure getting the rear, dropping the rear end, getting those spring hangers and everything out, it's gonna be a bitch too, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching.